So we've got the semifinals set, Penn State, Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State. Who do you ultimately believe is going to be playing for the national championship January 20th in Atlanta?
Today, I would take Notre Dame and Ohio State because they've been the most impressive. And I just can't get excited about Penn State beating SMU at home and Boise State. And I was guilty too, Matt, of looking past Arizona State. I knew they were a hot team, but when Arizona State and Boise State are not the same teams.
No.
To me, the idea that Penn State could make it to the semifinals of this thing, really not having played anyone yet, is the main reason why I like Notre Dame. I'm still not a believer in Indiana, but they look very good in that victory, and they looked even better against what I believe is a quality team in Georgia.
Yeah,
and on the other side,
yeah,
to be repetitive here from the front of the conversation, Ohio State doesn't have to play as well. They just have to play consistently and use the talent that they have. And I'm not really sure why it's taken that long for Ryan Day to figure out what he has, but good for him that he did.
Yeah, figured it out at the right time, and now Ohio State appears to be a gauntlet. I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, Ohio State, Notre Dame, just based on how they're playing, seems the most likely. The one thing I'd say for Texas, they get a home game in Arlington at the Cotton Bowl. I mean, that's a good situation and scene for them. But I would say the four teams we have, not too surprised based on everything that was going into the storylines. But ultimately, I would right now, I think the college football playoff, the 12th team did what it was supposed to do. And I mean, look, Penn State end of the season ranked the top 5, and everyone's like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Well, here they are. I mean, they're here. So I think it did its job. Do you?
I do. I don't. It's hard to tell because this week was so screwy, Matt.
Yeah.
To understand really how this playoff is resonating, how we're connecting. Because the New Orleans experience really cast a pall over everything. But it's been entertaining. It's a lot better than it was. It's certainly better than where we were 10 years ago. And I think next week is really the great week. I mean, I know everybody. I mean, stop me if you've heard this 18 million times about the Saturday of the Final Four, but Thursday and Friday are going to be dramatic.
It's amazing.
And there are 4 blue bloods. I mean, there's no outliers in this thing. Right. Every one of these programs has a long resume, and we haven't talked as much about Notre Dame and Penn State, but there's reams of tradition and bad blood over the many years between those two.
Yeah, and look, if Arizona State would have somehow gotten in, it'd have been a great story. But if you'd have looked at the semifinals, you'd have been like, oh, okay, well. But I look at these semifinals, I'm like, yeah, those are 4 of the best teams in the country. I mean, those teams are all, and that's how I'm kind of looking at it.
In Texas, I realize Texas has not been great lately. I realize they've been to the playoffs the last 2 years, but they had that long dry stretch. But Texas traditionally is still one of the big time programs in college football. And Ohio State, I mean, it's just and the fact that I think they're going to play first game of next year is even more amazing.
Yeah, look, it's been amazing at this point. The football, outside of the tragedy in New Orleans, just an odd scene and an eerie scene and a sad scene out there. But end of the day, playoffs got us these 4 teams. Cannot wait to watch next week and break it down with everybody. Once again, thanks for watching, listening. The Matt Barrie Show presented by Allstate. 2 guys, 1 Charlotte, different rooms. That's how we roll here on the Matt Barrie Show presented by Allstate.